Sure, abuti honestly.
I think it's best if I engage the CUT staff, because you are coming across as not being neutral, and you are explaining what the assumption should be, and you are justifying such action. And you know how personal this is to me, so it sort of, it touches me, because why is it so hard, even if we use your analogy of 10% and then all 17% or 17 new positions going for colored and Indian males? Why not? Do you see where I come from? Why is that such a tough thing to do when it comes to coloreds and Indians? So I maintain my disposition. If we look at the colored male target, 2.2%, using the defense that just came on your behalf, 1.8% is what you achieved. When the retaining of white males, the baseline is 5%, if we use your semantics, you then have 6.8% still there, which then directly, if I go by the analogy that has been used in your defense, which then it says, the 1% missing from that 2.2% target is in your retention of white males. You see, if I talk in reverse, it will bring us back to the same thing. Do you agree, VC?
Through you, Chair, no, I wouldn't say it's in that category of white male. A lot depends on really.
Please speak in the mic,
pool,
VC.
Sorry, the pool that we have available to us, and the eligibility of that pool. And I take the points in terms of us having to really exercise more due diligence and think this over. And then part of what I said in the presentation is that there will be a meeting with the DOEL to go through the new targets that they've set. And that's also an opportunity for us and the Committee for the Employment Equity, then really to assess this and how we've been performing. But as mentioned, really, it's been basically on the basis of the legacy, the pool that we have before us, but we do actively look at each and every recruitment. We are so happy when we get diversity. Diversity is very important for us. When we have diverse number of applicants, we scrutinize them because we are very much aware.
We are going to test that position now.
Yes.
I'm going slowly to a particular point. We're going to practicalize it. Chairperson of Council, what is your race group? What's your race classification? I can't hear you, sir.
Indian.
You are an Indian South African and you're the chairperson of this council.
That's correct, yes.
How do you feel about Indians as a target combined being 7%?
Honorable member,
I mean, sorry, 0.7%.
Yeah. Makes my answer even more difficult. Well, clearly, one would like to see a growth in the percentage split, skewed towards coloreds and Indians, but we come from a legacy situation, and that legacy situation is very real, as I understand it, and also the practicalities on the ground at CUT is quite different. For example, it's in a part of the country where, for example, Indians may not be as prevalent as in, say, Durban or Gauteng.
So you can't source them from Durban.
You could, if they apply.
Exactly, because we are in South Africa. When you make these job adverts, you don't limit it to that province. It's South Africa, right? And so anybody can apply. So let me rather ask it like this here. Just yes or no, are you okay with that? Are you okay with the institution's commitment to recruit that target for Indian males and females?
So if I look at the target there, it's 0.4%.
Yes.
Um,
0.4%.
yeah. Am I reading it correct?
You're reading it correct, sir.
Okay.
And then the Indian female
Yeah.
is also 0.4 as a target.
I think for the current year, it's perhaps the best we can do. But certainly going forward, I think there needs to be a deliberate attempt to transform those statistics.
Would you agree there's not been a deliberate attempt to do so up to this point?
I can't say, Honourable Member, because I'm relatively new to council.
Okay, but for the record, you're not okay with that?
Well, I don't think that anyone could be okay with any kind of statistic except to say that it
No,
should-
the VC is okay. The VC is considering it okay, and it's based on the baseline, it's based on what's available. So there are people that can be okay with it. Are you, as the chairperson of council?
I'll answer you this way, Honourable Member. I'd like to see some kind of increase in the statistics.
So you're
as
not
we go
okay,
forward.
Chair? You're not okay with it?
It's a low target.
You're not okay with it?
No, I think it needs to improve.
You're not okay with it?
No.
Thank you, Chairperson. VC, do you agree that the current EE plan chooses foreigners above South Africans?
It's not choosing foreigners over South Africans. It's about also factoring our internationalization efforts. And we've got a 10% cap, as you would know. It's not a matter of choosing South Africans, foreigners over South Africans. It's
So your
really-
answer is no.
My answer is I don't think.
Is
we
that a
are-
no, a yes?
No.
No. All right. Let's look at slide number 10. Let's just look at the engineering, build, environment, and IT section. Colored male, Indian male. Chairperson of council, look at that there. 1.0% is permanent academic staff. No Indian female there in that entire faculty. Colored male, 1.6%. No colored female there. Foreigners, altogether, both foreign female and male, 15%. VC, colored males, Indian males, and females are South Africans. You have in that faculty alone, combined, 2%. If you round it off, let's say 4%. Foreign nationals, 15%. What is the reason for that?
Honourable Member, the common reason really for it is about the skills, the internationalization plan, and the readiness to come and work within CUT or the Free State. It's really the pool that we are recruiting from. You know,
So-
I dread the fact that I'll keep repeating the same thing, but we do not dismiss our internationalization policy and the targets there.
You know, I wish you would just be honest, VC, but it's okay. We'll continue. Do you know Professor Noluntu Mpekwa?
I haven't met her directly, yes.
Actually, it's Professor, Doctor.
Yes.
She holds a BTech, a MTech, and a PhD. Very brilliant black South African female in this country. Do you know that in 2024 she applied for the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, both Environment and Information Technology? Do you know of that?
In 2019?
2024.
Oh, last year, yes.
So you do know?
Yes.
Do you confirm that this black African highly qualified professional met the requirements of this position?
The minimum requirements.
Do you agree, do you confirm that she fulfilled the requirements?
Yes, she fulfilled the minimum requirements.
Do you confirm that she was shortlisted and interviewed?
Yes,
Could you kindly tell the country who ended up getting the job? Was it a South African or was it a foreigner?
it was an internal candidate who is a foreign national.
Sorry, BC?
A foreign national female internal candidate.
Is that a scarce skill? The dean of the faculty?
In STEM-related issues, it can be a scarce.
In this instance, I'm putting before you a highly qualified South African black female professional who qualifies. In this instance, that's not a scarce skill because you have someone that can fill the position who is South African. A foreign national was given the position over and above this person.
If I may also answer this, that process was opened twice, precisely also because of the pool of applicants that we had, where we wanted to make sure there is enough diversity in terms of female representation, South Africans, and
No,
especially
Visi,
also because of
you see,
the
I've been
kind
very
of
patient with
faculty.
you, and I've allowed you to patronize me on many occasions. This time, I'm not going to allow it. What you have here is the position of dean is open. There is a South African black female who has applied and who is qualified. She holds a doctorate. She qualifies for that position. She doesn't get it. The person who gets it is a foreign national. That is not a scarce skill. The law requires that the only time you can do what you did is if it is a scarce skill. You disregarded, your institution disregarded a black female professional. There's no way around that. And whether you believe it or like it or not, CUT appears to be favoring foreign nationals above South Africans, even if they are qualified. And that's what that same stat in that faculty speaks to, of 15% of foreign nationals. And when we go there, even in your other slides, when you speak about junior lecturers and all of that kind of stuff, we will see how South Africans are lesser numbered than foreign nationals. In practicality, I urge you, VC, as we go further, that we see this problem and we take accountability for it, rather than explaining it away. this highly qualified female South African has been disadvantaged, intentionally so. And according to our laws, she should have been the person. Not preference, I don't know her. We just did research. But based on the law, what the institution has done is disadvantage her. The Department of Higher Education, did you approve this, the appointment of a foreign national over a South African?
Chair, we are also surprised.
Kindly speak in the mic.
Yes, I'm speaking to my mic. I say
couldn't
we
hear,
are
sorry.
also we are also surprised. Ordinarily, the university would have written to us, particularly to give us notice that they are making that appointment for visa purposes. We didn't get that letter.
VC, kindly explain.
Chair, I think as I mentioned through the chair, honourable member, the candidate was an internal candidate that already has...
VC, are you listening to what the department is saying? There's a particular process. If you want to do what you did, you must inform the department you didn't.
No, that wasn't done, as far as I know.
We just heard that wasn't done. You didn't do it. The entire procedure was wrong. You know why? I'll tell you why. VC, your institution favors foreign nationals over South African citizens, even if they hold PhDs.
Patriots, patriots, patriots! Beautiful one. Again, as we still continue talking about diversity, talking about equality of opportunities of employment in our working environment. Well, right now we're also looking at Umbiza continue to question an individual, the Vice Chancellor of the Central University of Technology, which is in the Bloemfontein and Welcome area. So right now the topic and the bone of contention is preferring to hire illegal foreigners over South Africans, even those who are highly qualified or overqualified, but the preference to continue to hire illegal immigrants. To continue to hire illegal immigrants in this situation. Whereas we find that a lot of the times South Africans are here looking for jobs, but they did not get those jobs. Why is it? You also find that continuously Wambiza keeps on probing the same questions. Honorable Ashley Sauls, he keeps on probing the same questions in the context, looking at exactly the fact that continuously South Africans are being disadvantaged, whether qualified, overqualified, or ready for the work, having served under that position as an acting or as a deputy or an assistant. But continuously South Africans continue to do this job, but they're not given opportunities. And it's also a high alarming number that 15% of employees could be foreign nationals. Now this goes again to tell us that certain institutions are also not ready to actually include the previously disadvantaged, being the white females, being the coloreds as a whole, blacks as a whole, Indians as a whole. Because the only previously advantaged were white men, being English or Afrikaner. But now that we have these laws in our working places, whereas now we are meant to actually work on diversity, work on actually integrating other peoples into the workplace. It was previously explained how the government actually asks, how people should be hired based on their demographics, their backgrounds. We all saw that previous video, the one before this. But now that we're getting deeper into this, we're also discussing the fact that South Africans who are ably qualified, have paid their dues, have went to school and got the necessary training and experience, are still not put up for those jobs. White men are not regarded as South Africans, seemingly, because a lot of the times you're seeing them at a 0 point something rate of employment. That could mean maybe 1 or 2 in the whole working place, depending on the number of individuals actually hired. So we're actually still finding ourselves fighting the same fight that we were fighting 2 weeks back. Also goes on to ask an Indian man. Says, as the chairperson of this school, what are you saying with not seeing Indians as a representative in your very own university? As a chairperson, you have the ability to control the direction of meetings. You oversee the whole meeting. So basically, nothing can actually be avoided if you bring it up. Chairperson, you're asked, why is it not any more Indians in the workplace? How do you feel? He mumbles there. Can't even answer properly. Yes, he answers, but here is the most important thing. Wambiza tries to actually come up with a suggestion that Indians can come all the way from the Durban area. Doesn't matter. As long as they're South Africans, they are eligible. Also another point that you can look at. But also having seen the oversight visits, especially with the Free State schools, we find that actually there is a big gap that really needs to be fixed, especially in the context of integration of other cultural backgrounds and people of different ethnicity, South Africans as a whole, into the working places. Because all works are for South Africans. But they'll continue to see a trend of only blacks benefiting and then Indians and colors being classed into all that classification. So that is also something to check out and worry about. But Patriots, we trust our beautiful leader here in the Ashley Sauls in Parliament to actually continue probing these questions until we get it what it is that South Africa needs to be going to, the direction South Africa needs to be taking. Then a black woman, ably qualified, not hired, shows the preference of foreigners over our very own brothers and sisters. That is something that I'm happy that a lot of South Africans are now finally starting to realize. This is our battle, South Africans. We are in it alone. Salute, Patriots. Like, share, subscribe. Now continue to bring you many, many, many more. Salute. Don't buy, Zani.
Nothing. Sure, I would do ownership.